Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger. Hey, today we're doing a review on the T95E6, which you can see here in the garage. This is an American Tier 10 heavy tank. It is a collector, and it is currently for sale if we go up into the shop. You've got two ways to get this. Either purchase a crate here for 20 bucks. The interesting thing, this is a little bit different of a crate because you either get a 25% of getting the tank or you get a 75% chance of getting 7,500 gold. So you know exactly what your options are. It's not a range of gold. It is 7,500 gold. And as we said in my other store videos, if you can get gold for more than 350 gold per dollar, I think you're doing well. This is 375. So it's actually not a bad gamble, so to speak. But if we slide on down here to the rugged T95 here, you can see it is also for sale for 15,000 gold, which equates to about $42, which is pretty standard for a tier 10 tank. Honestly, my initial thought on it is not a ultimate collector premium tank you must own. It's a very nice tank. It makes good money, and we'll definitely show you that in the replays. I only played 4 battles in it, so I don't have a lot of experience yet. And maybe I'll do an update a little bit later, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video out because there are only 2 days left. And so I might change around my equipment after playing on it a little bit longer. But for now, what I went with was rammer, defense system, improved optics, enhanced gun lane drive, improved assembly, engine accelerator, refined gun, toolbox, and consumable delivery system. So using blitzstars.com, we can compare these tanks quite quickly, and you'll see my first comparison is with the T110E5. They have the exact same gun, so if you've experienced this gun, you know exactly how this one reloads, the penetration and whatnot. 400 alpha damage. These two are the most recent premiums that have been for sale, and so you can see where we compare. Obviously, the WZ111 had a much big alpha, a little bit longer reload, and lower DPM. And then the IS4 is just because I think that's probably one of the best tier 10 heavy tanks by itself. And so as we scroll down, you can see your aim time at 1.9, just a little bit higher than the E5, as is your dispersion, but lovely 10 degrees of gun depression here, matching the Super Conqueror. So that is a nice thing about this tank because you will want to make sure you can, wherever possible, get hull down. As we move into movement and mobility, it's got 42 kilometers per hour and a 20 horsepower per ton ratio, beating out all of these other heavy tanks. So that means it's going to get to its top speed faster, and it does move around the battlefield a little bit better. Your non-modified traverse speed is 30 degrees per second. So again, this tank is going to handle better than any of these other premium and tech tree tanks here that I've got compared to it. And of course, the beautiful thing is 150% credit coefficient. Is going to make you money. But if we get down here into the troubling areas, is going to be your armor. Obviously, for that mobility, you've got to make up for it somehow, and so less armor is what you've got. And let's just move on and see what that looks like. I've got an IS4 shooting this with regular AP round, and you can see there is a lot of green here. It's if you can rotate this turret when people are shooting at you, it might make it a little bit more challenging to get shot. You do have this very large cupola on the top. I'm not sure if this part counts as part of the tank in battle. I would like somebody could confirm that for me. But again, if you can get hull down and use that 10 degrees of gun depression, hide that lower part of the tank, you are looking fairly pretty. It can be somewhat effective as a side scraping tank. You've only got some small areas on the side as well. Alright, Blitzers, here is first game on Mayan Ruins in the T95E6. I struggle running this tank as a pure heavy just because the armor is not good enough. It does have, like we said, 42 kilometers per hour as the top speed, so Yeah, you can run it with the mediums just fine. On Mayan Ruins, I do like to get up to B. One of the few maps where, holding the critical middle point of the map is so important to a victory. Maybe even more so on Supremacy here. So, gotta learn not to get annihilated as you cross over, letting the letting that guy spot up the E50M, letting him spot up for right now. And there we go, the Sheridan up there. We'll get one shot into him and drop back down. Alright, so they've got, wow, a T110E3 going to C over there, so we got to be wary of that. Might take him a second to get up that big hill. And we've got the side turret here of the KPF PZ70, and there's a T110E3, and even worse, here's an AMX. We do manage to get one bounce there, so he should have one more shell in the clip. What's he going to do with it? He's going to take it right there, so let's see if we can't push back and get a shot in. Well, here comes the KPF. Thankfully showing us the side of his turret, so we're able to get another shot in. Yeah, now we're in trouble here because the AMX is going to rush us. We do get a lucky bounce there. So again, in a position where we're getting rushed by several tanks. So can we back around? See, this is what I'm talking about. You are going to get these just bounces you don't expect to get. That turret is pretty troll, especially if you're moving and wiggling. Finally, our E110 E3 has come up over the bridge. We're able to get a shot in. And this is a very quick game. We had a good team here, so finish him off. And we've got the AMX 50 left. It's a big race to get to him. And yeah, we're all just going to try to pile on here. Not sure why my shot didn't go in. But yeah, we get 21 for landing on him. But as you can see, a game where we got hold down as much as we could, we held the line, and we bounced a fair amount of shots. Moving on to the next game here is on Canal, and yeah, this one was a bit tricky looking at the teams. With two TDs and two big heavies here, and myself, I figured that A might be a better choice, because we don't have a lot of tanks that can get over to D. But that's obviously going to piss off the mediums, and I have the speed here, I think, to get around the corner without getting spotted, which is always a big risk on this map. A lot of times I like to drop down into the canal and do some spotting from there, but we're going to get extremely lucky here, as our tracks are going to eat up that shot. But we've done some spotting here already, and I believe we've got a Waffentrager next to me, or a grill. Thought he had emptied his clip there, so we took one of those shots. Kind of a mistake. And I was going for the kill shot there, not sure what it hit. I know there is a little bit of hill there, so it must have hit that. The FV4202 is pushing hard on the grill. And this is the part I've got to make a decision. I've got a one-shot tank down below. I know I've got 2 to 3 tanks pushing into cap there. So I'm going to come down here and get the kill and actually stay down here for a little bit extra safety. So you can see how well the tank does move for a heavy tank. And we're going to get here into a position on the 183. Because I figured just about everyone else now has pushed into the corner of the map, so we should be pretty safe over here. I must have hit the mantlet or something, because I should have penned, and I'd get a lucky help from my teammate there, and we can finish him off. So we're only sitting at 1200 damage at the moment. But again, we've done a lot in terms of spotting and helping the team out. So, you know, had I been smart, I probably would have turned a little bit more towards these two tanks. Just so that I wasn't showing as much of my side. But as it turns out, I'm gonna take a big shot from the 704 here. And we get a couple bounces in a row off of him, which is kind of disappointing. So at this point, I know a 7-on-3, it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll go ahead and take another shot from the 704. So, you know, the gun is fairly accurate, especially, you know, when you're comparing it to other heavy tanks at the tier. It's extremely accurate, but the pen isn't that great, and you know, you may need to run calibrated shells with it, depending upon, you know, how many IS4s and mouses you come across. And I think that's how I set it up in my previous review, but for right now, just looking at the damage per minute numbers being so low compared to the other tanks in the tier, I went ahead and went with the gun rammer for now, just to see. Perhaps we could make up the difference with shooting a little bit more pramo. But here we come in second on that game in damage. Alright guys, so Desert Sands this time, and we look, they've got a Batchat E100 grill, TV27, WZ121, and a couple tier 9 tanks. I think our lineup is made here for the hills, and so that's the way I'm going to go, except I think it's our IS-7 decides to go straight into CCAP by himself, which is never a good idea. I mean, he's a mobile, heavy tank. He would have done better staying with the team than trying to get into a cap situation. But the best we can hope for now is maybe there's someone out here, and we take out one of theirs, they take out one of ours. But seeing that no one's spotted up yet, I'm trying to be aggressive. And trying to flank around. That's when we see the grill here. And I just have horrible luck with the HE. It's almost not even worth shooting it sometimes. So at this point I have a decision to make. Do I go back or do I try to face the grill? And he is full out on the run at this point in time. So we're in chase mode on the grill. There we go, 520 is a nice HE roll. But the problem is now that the heavies there at C know we're coming. And there's really not a lot I can do. So we have to re-strategize here. It's not a heavy tank that you want to go up against heavy tanks face on face, really, if you have to. So kind of using our speed here. I was hoping that we'd be able to get another HE shot in there. And again, if I get my shot in there, he's dead. And our guy has an additional 400 hit points yet to play with. So a mistake on my part for sure. Really know before you load HE that it is going to pen. And we get a nice fire there and send him off. So I'm trying to help my 57 heavy, or help the Waffentrager there, keep him alive. But unfortunately, after we get the kill shot here, I don't know what he does in the game. It's 3-on-2 and he just disappears. So there's an extremely bad luck roll. And again, if I'd have just done 2 shots, he'd have been dead. And another low roll on the HE. So learned my lesson on this, not to be shooting too much HE. Just go with that 2 shots of AP would have finished him off. And see, I guess these guys came around and just annihilated that waffle tracker there. Who I was trying to help. But, you know, some games you're just not going to be able to pull it off. And we finished with over 3,200 damage there. So let's see what that comes in at, 36,000 credits. So, you know, to be able to lose a battle at tier 10 and still make money is difficult in a regular tank. Alright guys, so here we go, dropping into the last battle here on New Bay, and you can see, look at this, all a tier 10 battle. And so hopefully with this battle and the other battles, and we've got 2 wins, 2 losses in here, you can get a good feel for this tank, because it is pretty pricey at 15,000 gold for what it is, in my opinion. Now, you'll see here on this battle, what I was hoping was to be able to get some gameplay in getting hull down. We really didn't get to see a lot of that based upon the way these maps and the games played out. But looking at the mini-map, our team has split. We've got 4 of us coming into the park area here, and our 3 lights are up on the bridge about to get annihilated. But since the tank has good mobility here, 35 to 40 kilometers per hour, and I've now seen that the E100 is spotted up, the Ho-Re here is at the back, makes me believe that it's pretty safe just to push on all the way. So here we are, a heavy tank flanking around. It's just a shame that our lights didn't retreat a little bit to the cover of our TDs back there. So here we are in on the Ho-Re now. And you know, this is just standard play. You can see we can pen the front. Not sure why that E5 is pulled so far forward to begin with. And we kind of tangle up, and I don't know why my shot didn't turn when I told it to there. But we are shooting heat to make sure these go in. Was expecting to get some help. And I think that E5 missed a couple shots. Batchat is telling me to uninstall, and the E5 is not happy either. But look, I mean, their team played together, their team pushed on everybody. But you'll see here again, you know, obviously we had good mobility, we got around the map, we blocked a few shots that you wouldn't think that we normally would, and we're going to actually do decent damage as that AMX is on a long reload. Had our bat chat stayed alive a little bit longer, hey, this might have been a different story. As the E50 is just full bore into us and kills us with the ram. So, you know, we ended up losing that battle. We still did 3,600 damage, and we made decent money. So again, I can't say that for all tier 10s. So if you like this type of playstyle, it's decent tank for the money. But I can't say for me personally that it would be the first tank that I pull out of my garage. At tier 10, it just doesn't have the wow factor. So maybe it might come down a little bit, I can't say. But for me, I think maybe 15,000 gold's a bit much. If I could get it for 22 in the crate, yeah, definitely worth it. So with that, guys, I hope you're having fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.